Another month has passed, and it is time again for another Choose Our Own Adventure, the January edition. This is for all you patrons at the $7 tier or higher. Thank you for your patronage. I promise you your money is being wastefully spent in the worst possible ways for my own amusements.
Chalices and all kinds of shit.
And studio time for shows like these. You know what Choose Our Own Adventure is. It's the podcast where you guys get to dictate what the hell it is we talk about when you do decide that you want to give me things to talk about. We have our usual band of miscreants with us, as always. Who is on my right?
I am the now award-winning Test Your Mic champion. Charismatic leader of the Jamontourage, Jamon Jackson.
Jamon Jackson, leader of the Jamontourage. There you
so-
are, the chalice holder.
Yes, I'm so humble, too.
And who do I have across from me?
Leslie, the
Leslie.
co-host of The Weekly Prophet.
It is that indeed. It is that indeed. And to my left,
I am holder of the impossible 1 and 2 record on Test Your Might, Brian Martin.
Brian Martin.
The
yes.
losingest runner-up I've
No one on that show lost as hard as I did.
It depends on what your definition of lost hard is. The very first guy lost really hard.
That was
Crash and burn of the year right there. All right. Then.
Trust me, I know I was there.
I'm still working on a way to bring Test Your Might back, by the way. I'm still working on something. Let's Sleep made a suggestion that if everybody can just block off one day out of their schedule and just knock them all out and go one go, and then we'll be good for the next 4 months.
Sundays? You guys good on Sundays? What do you got going on Sundays?
Hey, man, I'm great on Sundays.
There you go.
I usually make my brunch on that day.
Football season's almost over, guys. No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses now. I don't know what
I'm-
to do.
Hell else are you doing?
See,
gotta
and
do
I'm
waffle
off
iron.
on Sundays. I'll make a food run for you. I'll be
See, there
nice.
you go.
Perfect.
I just bought a waffle iron. I mean,
Ooh.
We got a plug right there. Yeah. Bring that joint in and make waffles.
make it
Or
happen.
just
Waffles.
get Chick-fil-A breakfast tray and bring that.
Ooh.
shit.
Can't get Chick-fil-A on Sundays, guys.
You get it on Saturday and you just bring it out.
That's
on
leave
Sunday.
that shit
no
in the
good.
fridge.
That's no good.
No.
Look, I'm trying to give
No.
you guys solutions for this shit.
Chick-fil-A problem.
Man, fuck
Is that a
y'all.
question?
Fuck it. Chick-fil-A screwed it all up.
What do we do about Chick-fil-A on Sundays?
So when you move to that inevitable 1 and 3, you can blame Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Yes. What?
It's too loud.
It's too loud in your eardrums? Let's see what I can do about that.
My tiny little ears cannot handle all of the loud noise.
Is this any better?
I don't know. All of you have to laugh at the same time.
Tell us something funny. Tell a joke.
Green bean casserole?
There it was.
A little bit lower.
A little bit lower? Is that
You're
any better?
turning it up higher.
I'm literally moving the knob down. How can I be turning it up?
I don't know. It's getting louder.
How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, moving along.
I hate you so much right now.
Is this any better?
A little bit lower.
Talk real quiet.
I'll just
How
take
about this?
the headphones like half off my
How's
ears.
this girl?
Is that how you got your life? Is this any better?
I'm just going to take my headphones half off my ears. It'll be fine.
All right, then. Word. So, we're in the new year. How's the new year going for you guys?
Bad.
I'm
Okay,
all
then.
right.
We've
Okay, then.
managed to improve our trivia standings here.
Yeah, we have improved our trivia standings. Paprika Forever went from an abysmal 7th place to, what did we get, 2nd place?
Second.
Yeah, it was a second place.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was a good run for you
I
guys.
think it was that
I
last
just
minute
want to
betting.
say
Leslie was here.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes,
She was the missing element last
she
time.
was the missing element.
Speaking of which, fuck Jerry Orbach.
Yeah.
I think I love Jerry Orbach.
Fuck Jerry Orbach.
Always ask Jerry Orbach questions.
We have already made a pact that whichever of us dies first and we get him to the big pearly gate. So that's the first person we're looking for.
You're going to kick him in the nads?
right, his old dead nads.
I'm gonna be
St. Peter's like, I'll allow it.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be
you're
like
in for Jerry Orbach? Come on.
Yeah, right.
gonna be like Thor when we show up. Like,
Bring
Bring
me
me Orbach.
How's the kids, sir? Any better?
Yeah, feeling a lot better.
Excellent, excellent.
The ear infection has passed. his coughing has stopped. The wife's coughing has amplified.
Oh.
So
Dude,
it's,
you got to dodge that shit like
spreading
Matrix.
around.
Oh,
yeah, it is. It's exactly like the Matrix. So I'm like germs flying every way. I actually just hold my hand up and they stop.
You've attained that level, have you?
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Very
I'm the
nice.
one.
Leslie, how's your year going so far?
I think it's going really well.
All right, that's what's up.
Got a promotion at work.
Ooh.
I'm actually liking it.
That's a
my
good thing.
my coworkers, my bosses, they're actually helpful and all that. So yeah.
You
Yeah.
scored a rare deal in the
Yes.
corporate
I
environment.
know. Trust me, I know.
All right, let's get into some businesses here. A couple things. We got a couple things from a couple people here. From our $10 patrons, we get to choose what it is we talk about. We got one from Vikram. We're going to kick this off. He wants us to talk about the that guys or gals, the actors and actresses you think deserve more credits, and they're always casted in smaller roles. Who are some of the notable that guys that will never get any love from anybody whatsoever? Who do you guys have for that guys, gals?
Oh boy.
I didn't have any that gals.
No.
not
There's
like
not a.
I got you.
I bet you do, because I feel like we all like learn the names, learn their eating habits, learn like everything we can about them. The second we see it, it's like, ooh, that gal. and for the guys, we're like, oh, it's that guy again. So I'm sure you do have some examples for us, and we'll be like, oh no, I know her quite well.
Good point. All right, well, let's start off with you, Jermon. Do you have any good that guys?
Okay. Well, I actually have one. I think he's kind of moved out of that guy
Oh, he's moved up in the
status.
world?
Sam Rockwell.
You know what? He was.
He's
that
come
guy
up. He's
for a
come up.
while.
Yeah.
They literally
Yeah.
joked about that in Galaxy Quest.
Ah, it's true.
His name is Guy.
It's like, what's my?
It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, so I think for me, it was like right when Moon hit, and I was like, "Yo, who's this dude?" And then I think that's what kind of,
I didn't
Got him
really
up there.
take notice of him until Iron Man 2. Like,
yeah.
Like-
For me, it was like when I heard about Iron Man 2, I was like, "Oh, the guy from Moon."
when
Yeah,
he,
it was-
that scene when he comes in dancing and everything, I was like, what? He dances like,
He does
Hilarious.
a lot of dancing.
Yes.
He dances in Charlie's Angels. He
Yeah.
dances.
Yeah.
And that was the
I
first
forgot
time I
he
was
was
like,
in that.
hey, look at this dancing man. And he was just the dancing man for a while.
Does he
and
do
then-
any dancing in Matchstick Men?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any dancing. Nobody does any dancing in Matchstick Man.
Missed
But
opportunity.
the movie I always think of with Sam Rockwell is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yes. You know what? That's
That's
where I
my
saw
go-to.
him first. That's where I saw him, not Moon.
Yeah.
I saw
He's
him
great
in
in
Moon
that.
because of Confessions. Yeah, dude, that movie's
He's awesome.
Stat Clooney's in there for a second or two. Some Julia
Yeah.
Roberts action.
Julie Roberts.
That,
in it? Yeah.
See, that's the
Great
hallmark of a great that guy when you finally notice him in something and then go back and realize, oh, that was him in that.
He was
that
in
him
everything.
I've
Yeah.
seen him in like 15 movies. Like,
Sam Rockwell delivered me, strangely enough.
See, I'm kind of going through all of that right now because I didn't notice him until what was it, The Green Mile, and then that was
Yeah.
the first thing I recall seeing him in, and then Choke, because it was an adaptation of Chuck Palahniuk's book, and I really loved Palahniuk.
And he was
as
like
an
the lead in
author.
that movie.
He
yeah.
was. He was goofy as fuck. The movie did not have the same tone as what I gave it. It was faithful to the story, but I just read the tone differently. So I watched it and I was just like,
I agree.
Okay. I've
so
never
it
heard of
actually
this
set me off of him for a while.
Yeah, I agree, and I think his performance in Charlie's Angels was a little off-putting for me. Like I was like, this movie is a weird movie. I really like Charlie's Angels, the first one, and like between him and Crispin Glover, like I was like, this is very bizarre. Crispin Glover's character is
He's
very
a
cool.
weird dude.
When you need
Very
bizarre,
slick. He
you
is-
get Crispin Glover.
Yeah, clowny clown.
Yeah, I didn't.
His dad was a Bond henchman.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
heard
absolutely.
I heard a story, about like Charlie's Angels where I guess he was unhappy with like the script or something like that, so he just decided he's not going to speak at all in the movie or something.
Yeah. Oh, I heard the same thing. Yeah.
Rockwell or Crispin Glover?
That was Crispin
Crispin
Glover
Glover.
because he never says anything.
That
Yeah.
is a very Crispin Glover move.
It so
It's
is.
very Blade 3-ish. of
Like,
him.
who are you? I think Crispin Glover might be that guy.
Yes.
The ultimate that guy. It's like, you have not earned the right to make these sorts of demands, sir.
He's like that guy with an A-list like attitude. Like he's
Yeah.
That
He has
guys are
no
looking at him
idea.
like, is he craft services?
He's a that guy with no idea he's a that guy.
Oh, that's the worst kind of.
Yeah.
Leslie, what do you have for that gal?
Well, I went through a few before I settled on one. I was thinking Catherine Hahn, and then I was like, no, she's in quite a lot. And Allison Janney was one that popped up, and again, looking through, I'm like, no, she's really
The Oscar-winning Allison
yeah,
Janney?
you know. And I'm probably still
Oscar
a bit
nominated.
off here. But when I was, looking through character actors and character actresses and stuff, and Alfre Woodard, she's, I think, like Germain's, she's moving out of that if she hasn't already,
yeah.
as Mariah Dillard and Luke Cage. But
she put in work. She put in
Yeah.
work.
She's enough of a that person to play two separate roles in the same cinematic universe,
right. The
and
same
almost
year.
nobody noticed. Yeah. So yeah,
I love
agree.
it that Robert Downey Jr. for some reason wanted her specifically. He said
Yeah.
this one scene has to be Alfre Woodard. Have they even done any work before that?
Not that I can
have
recall.
no idea.
He's just using the MCU to knock off his own bucket
can't.
list of people he wants
Yeah.
to work with.
Yeah, when her name came up and her picture came up, I was like, yes, because every time I see her, and then I'm like, okay, let me look and see what all she's done. And she was in Primal Fear, Star Trek First Contact,
Yeah, she
Yes.
was.
True Blood, Captain America, she's in Empire, Desperate Housewives was a show that I saw her on.
She's longevity, man.
Yes, she is just. She keeps a job. She
Yeah.
stays
Yeah,
employed.
she's a working actress.
She is
Yes.
so good.
What did I see her in recently? I think it might have been Luke Cage, actually.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
Black Mariah's.
Oh
fucking
my
Yeah.
God,
She's great.
That's
No, she's good.
That
Yeah.
first scene when she gets locked up in the prison and like immediately shanks like something like.
Yes. Man, season 2 of Luke Cage is so
Oh my
good.
God.
There's not a weak spot of season 2 of Luke Cage. What you got for us there, Brian?
Well, every time I think of that guys, I always go to the same person first. My head goes to the same place, and it's always Luis Guzman.
Sitting right here, number 2 on my
Alright.
list is
He's
Luis Guzman.
he's the ultimate that guy. Like, he's such a that guy. He had his own sitcom that was named after him, and nobody fucking remembers it.
The only reason I know that is because I went looking at his credits for this
No.
research for this show, and I was like, he had his own show.
I definitely remember it well, and I was like, I can't believe they finally gave him his own show. And then it's like, oh, well, that was like 6 episodes, 2 of which aired.
That's fantastic.
Luis Guzman, I first noticed Luis Guzman in Out of Sight, and he's that like kind of gay, not kind of gay, he's definitely gay inmate in prison with Clooney at the beginning. He's like, hey man, you see that fence post they're putting up about 10 yards past the fence post that's already there? And I'm like, this guy is really funny. Like, that's just that one scene. Like, this guy's great.
See, I know him more as Pachanga from Carlito's Way.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's Carlito's bodyguard.
Yeah.
But I think hands down the best comedic Luis Guzman performance is Waiting.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
He gets hit with the bat wing, and ooh, it's
He's
so
such
veiny.
he's so funny. Yeah,
working-
He's hilarious.
he's a funny guy.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I know I've seen him in a million things. The only thing I can remember him from was Anger Management.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, I saw that movie once. I don't remember
He
anything
had
about it.
he had a question mark.
Yeah, that's what it
facial
was.
hair.
Yeah, I was like, what is
It
going
was
on with this?
wonderful. I think he was in the Bone
His
Collector
facial
too.
hair, yeah,
right?
it's like
He had the mustache that came around, but it only came down one side.
yeah, it looked like a.
And then he had
was
a
like,
little
what
soul
is-
patch.
Yeah,
So he had a little question mark.
I was like, what is going on here?
It was awesome.
Oh, I feel like he just does dumb shit with his money all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
For his
What a
own
guy.
amusement.
And he does
man.
not look like an A-lister. Like, he doesn't look
At
like
all.
He could
At all.
never be an A-lister, but he
At
is
all.
like the go-to like Latino.
I think he was like pre Michael Pena. Like he was like
yeah, he was the
yeah,
proto
yeah.
Michael
yeah,
Pena.
yeah.
Yeah.
He passed the torch
Absolutely.
on to Michael
Yeah.
Pena.
Yeah.
I've taught you everything I can.
Michael Pena is like the new Luis Guzman, and he's a that guy also.
Oh my
He's-
god.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got one for you as far as that guys are concerned. Whenever this dude pops up, I just know him as other roles. William Fichtner,
I got him on my
Bill
list.
Fichtner was
He's on my
definitely
list.
on my list.
Yes.
Yeah.
a.k.a. the bank manager.
Yes.
From the Dark Knight. Do you
Yeah.
know who it's stealing from? Dude got shot in the legs and then proceeded to talk shit and land on the ground. And I was like, I need to find out more about this guy immediately.
I first saw him at the Longest Yard remake, and
Oh, is he in that movie?
yeah, he was like one of the prison guards in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Second season of Prison Break, he was all over that.
Yeah, of course, Ninja Turtles.
Has he ever
Yeah.
played a good guy?
Drive Angry. He was in that.
He was sort of a good guy in Prison
Oh,
Break.
Black Hawk Down, I guess.
Yeah,
everybody was.
yeah.
That horrible
if you were
Independence
white, then
Day.
you were a good guy in that movie.
Right.
He's been around. He's been around.
Oh, and he's, of course, in the Oscar-winning Crash.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that guys. I think for you to qualify as a that guy,
Yeah.
you must have at some point appeared in an ensemble cast in a P.T. Anderson. Like that's like the litmus test. If you were there, you were probably a that guy. William H. Macy, he was definitely
that,
a
yes.
that guy. John C.
Very that
Riley was a that guy. He might not be
Yeah.
a that guy
Yeah.
anymore.
He moved out.
But yeah.
I had about a half a dozen guys on here, and because I had one that guy, which I always felt he should have been bigger, had a bigger career than he did. Timothy Oliphant.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
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 Definitely.
I mean, because
a
he
that
had
guy.
that
The
look
villain
of
of Die
a
Hard
leading
4.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he led his own show for like
Justified
6
was
seasons.
it was
What are you
around, but
talking
like
about?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
But
neat show.
everything
It's
outside of the show, I think he did the show because he was getting so many that guy roles that like
It's time to be elevated.
'Cause
I need
promoted.
something.
because I think Bryan Cranston was probably also a that guy before Breaking Bad came along.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his
Yeah.
own. He was a lead on the show before that.
Malcolm in the Middle,
but
I
he
mean,
wasn't like
He
Yeah.
was the dad.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I ever heard.
couldn't
Oh,
have
wasn't
told-
that guy the dad?
Like when he showed up on Breaking Bad, and you're like, oh, it's the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
It's
then you're
like
like,
that's
whoa.
that guy.
yeah.
If you have to address him by a role and not by a name, I
Oh,
think
that
that's
guy.
That's the that
That's
guy.
where it happens.
Yeah.
I think they promote one that guy every 5 years.
Right.
I think Sam Rockwell just got his. Like,
Yeah.
The next that guy awards will be
Maybe.
next year, actually in 2020. So
I'm-
we'll see who gets elevated.
My prediction: Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson,
He's starting to- he's
perennial
starting
that
to-
guy.
yeah, he's starting to
I feel
come up,
bad for
like,
him too because I love
Watchmen,
that guy.
Aquaman. Yeah,
He's my front runner if they ever do the Fantastic Four movies. Reed Richards.
that's your front runner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a front runner for Reed Richards.
This is Tom Krasinski.
John Krasinski
John
is definitely
Krasinski,
after
yeah.
seeing Quiet Place. It's John Krasinski and it's
Emily
Emily Blunt,
Blunt.
and there you go. There's half of your team. Absolutely,
And they're married in real life, so it kind of makes sense.
it works perfectly. You know that the chemistry's real, guys.
And then we can bring back Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
I see no reason not to. There is no reason not
We're
to.
all good.
Yeah, he was a great Human Torch.
All right, so let's flip this. Is there anybody when they come on and you go, oh, it's that guy?
Oh boy.
Where do I start? We all know where I start. But
Oh man.
Where do you start, sir?
well, currently it's Jason Momoa, and I was talking. And I was talking with a buddy of mine who just saw Aquaman this past weekend, and he hates Momoa just as much as I do.
All right, fair
and I was
enough.
like, "Oh man, you saw Aquaman! I can't believe you saw Aquaman. You hate Jason Momoa so much." And he's like, "You know what drives me crazy about him is that I don't think he's acting. I think he's just
being him.
he's just being Jason Momoa and everything. He was Jason Momoa as Conan. He was Jason Momoa as
Khal Drogo.
Aquaman. Yeah, yes, as Drago. It's like just act. I don't
He
know.
just hits his spots and says his lines, and that's just him being him.
Yeah.
And they're like, I cut. He hit his spot.
Come
He
on.
said his line.
Give him some credit for Drogo.
I'll give him some credit for marrying Lisa Bonet.
He gets, right.
Okay, he can have credit for that,
damn.
too.
How many dudes in high school are like, that's my crush right there? And then
Angel Heart?
somehow
Like,
fucking managed to
And
pull
then got
off.
it. It got it.
There's like a 17-year difference there.
Who cares?
That's game.
Who cares? You
That's
you
game.
scored it.
Those
man.
are just two beautiful people. Just
But I
like-
think
This is illegal.
like so Jason Momoa
So
is
are
like
we, honey.
like my easy answer, but like for a long time it was Matthew Lillard.
Aww.
Matthew Lillard is just like
He's fun.
No, he's not.
I think I enjoyed him once in Scream 1, and that was it.
That was it. And it's
Yes.
like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's like the Sandler effect. It's like you pick your one Adam Sandler movie, and that's like, okay, that's the one time I could tolerate this guy, and the rest of them, fuck it.
You didn't like him in SLC Punk?
No.
I was going to say, Adam Sandler's in SLC.
No, that was Matthew Lillard.
Come on now.
That was Lillard. But
Yeah,
there's
no,
always
no,
there's always guys like that. I could go on and on about
Oh,
this,
my
but
God.
somebody else will probably name my alpha this motherfucker.
I didn't even know there's a this motherfucker.
Yeah.
For me, my this motherfucker is Clancy Brown.
Ooh,
Oh,
really?
wow.
Oh,
When
I
he's-
love that
wow.
guy.
He steps on, I'm like, oh, here we go. This motherfucker's on the screen. Oh, you're pretending to be a good guy for the first
I
few
love that
episodes.
motherfucker.
Well, Leslie, do you have anybody for? Oh, it's this guy or this gal.
James Franco.
I can understand that.
I can see- yeah.
never
Totally okay
liked
with that.
him. Like
It's
he's
the face.
yeah,
It's smug
there's
ass.
just something. Just like he's not a bad actor, clearly, but every time he walks on, I'm just like, fuck.
He does have the best line from Ballad of Buster Scruggs, though.
I have not watched that.
And the hanging fails, and they go to hang him again. And there's a dude next to him. He looks over and he's like, "It's your first time, huh?"
Yeah, that's great. That is great.
I'd also have to go with Tom Cruise.
Oh wow.
Greatest action star of our generation. Of all time, possibly.
Ugh.
If he didn't throw
Ew.
himself at everything the way he does, I don't think I could tolerate him.
He is,
but
like-
he is so invested in just being a psycho.
He has a level of intensity that just like
That we don't need.
Yeah.
just in life in general. It's like
Yeah.
To clarify, he's a terrific actor. I just don't want to see his face. like he is good at his job, but I don't see the character. I see Tom Cruise, and I'm just like, oh
okay.
fuck, it's Tom Cruise. Meh.
Fair enough.
And,
I think that's fair.
he does. I guess he does good work. It's just hard for me to fall into it. It is.
I think
hard
part
for
of
me
that
to-
is he's never in any makeup. So you can never kind of blend into a role.
There
You're
was the
just
one time,
always-
except for the
Collateral.
one time.
Yes.
The one time he was. Well, Collateral was good too, but I'm talking about Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, yes.
That is
Like
the
that was
greatest
the one
cameo of
time he
all time.
vanished into a role.
Yes.
Yeah. And it took me a good minute and a half.
It's-
Why do I know
Holy
that
crap.
voice? Why do I know that voice?
It's really awesome too.
Yeah.
I also I'm partial to Tom Cruise's cameo in Austin Powers 3. I think it was the third one where he shows up at the beginning
Yeah,
where
and the
Steven
movie
Spielberg's
about- yeah.
making the Austin Powers movie and Tom Cruise is playing Austin Powers in it.
I haven't seen the movie.
The
since
best
first
part
came
is
out.
Danny DeVito is playing Mini-Me, and he's got like this Tommy gun. He's like, "Hey, fuck you, asshole! I'm Mini-Me. Come get me!" Ah!
It's like creepy ass Kevin Spacey's Dr. Evil.
Oh
Yeah,
man!
it's
Well,
not-
hey, the creepy ass is implied at this point.
Do you have any? It's that guy.
I got two here.
right.
Now, I took this kind of two different ways. Now, the first one is like just nails on a chalkboard, like Dane Cook.
Thank
Yes.
Yes.
He has
Yes.
he has douche face.
I applaud
He has
you
straight
for
up
that.
douche face. Like
What is-
there is
He looks like a Stridex pad.
he literally
Fuck that guy.
He looks like
I'm
the
done with you.
spokesperson for Axe body spray. Like he's like
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
like I couldn't take him seriously. Like was it
Used
Good Luck Chuck?
Stridex
I was
pad.
just like I can't take this dude seriously. Like as
No.
a leading man, it's
He
just
got
like
fucking jacked for American Gods. I was like, why
yeah.
is Dan Cook so muscular for this role?
He had no choice. He's
what
like,
is either that or not?
get
It's
jacked
like-
or cease to exist.
It's like American Gods. He's in. I think it's American Gods. He's in a couple of episodes. I'm like, why is he so muscular right now? What? When you're not getting roles, I guess he ain't got shit else to do.
I loved American Gods. I do not remember him
He was
being
the
in that at all.
He was the friend of the wife and the husband or whatever. I think
He was a that guy.
he was very much of that.
He went from
guy.
being a this
Oh,
fucker
okay.
to a that guy in American Gods.
One of mine. Oh, it's Anne Hathaway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she comes on the screen and I'm just like, I just started looking for the remote. Like, there's gotta be just
Yeah.
to not even change the channel, to turn the TV off altogether.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Rob,
had.
what's your second one?
My second one. See, I went the other way with my second one. I was like, when I see this dude, it's like, because he always gets typecast in these roles where he's like, oh, this asshole Harry Lennox.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a great authoritative
Yes,
asshole.
he is
Yeah.
just a dick in everything I've seen him in. Like, every time I see him pop up, I was like, oh,
General Swanwick.
yes, he might be the actual villain of this shit. Like,
The mastermind.
I have never seen him play any person with any kind of redeeming qualities. Like, he's
Well,
just
I mean,
like,
you know, he's good in the in his Man of Steel roles, man.
yeah.
He's a good.
he's a
general.
good guy, but yeah,
he's just a dick about
yeah.
it. Great intention.
The one person nobody mentioned that was a real solid, the alpha for me is Sean William Scott.
Oh,
Yes.
Like if
Oh
you
my God,
wanted
his
if you wanted
giant-
to deflate any fucking movie I watched about 15 years ago, just have him roll on out into
With
it.
his
And I'm like,
goofy fucking
caw,
face.
caw, caw, caw. It's
Oh.
like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I hated him.
I
I
actually
actually
like
like-
the one scene in Old School.
That
When,
one
when,
scene-
when Will Ferrell
the
shoots
one
himself
scene.
in the because he's
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
animal
yeah, yeah.
handler
See,
or
I
whatever.
kind of liked him in the Rundown,
Like,
but that was because The Rock was
I
beating the
love
shit
the
out of him
rundown.
this
That's
whole
the thing. The Rundown. I always said the Rundown would be my favorite movie ever made if Sean William Scott wasn't in it, bogging it down.
Went from an A+ to a C-.
Because it's
real quick.
amazing. I love the Rundown, and I love it despite him, and that's the best compliment I can give
You
it.
know, a little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning.
And oddly enough, the
geez.
best compliment I can give Sean William Scott as well. Just can't take him.
He just
You
can't
were in
take
a,
it.
you
Yeah,
were,
he's the worst. He did cross my mind, but it was like, oh sure,
He's an
like
easy
you
mark.
thought. Yeah, exactly.
it's
Like,
like-
fucking Stifler. Somebody's
is-
gonna,
it's
know,
like
whatever.
him, James Franco, and Dane Cook or whatever should do like a douche force like movie or something like that. It's a bunch of
Force.
sushi dudes. It's like, yeah.
Oh my God! Great idea.
Here's another that guy for you. Al Long. He's
Who?
the Asian. He's the Asian dude that plays Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted.
Oh,
He's one of the
man.
henchmen in Die Hard. He's the one that
Yes.
steals the baby Ruth out of
Yeah.
the
Oh, that
Oh,
guy.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah. He is that guy.
Every time he pops up,
Wow.
I'm like, oh, it's Genghis Khan again.
Was he in the raid? He might as well have been.
If he wasn't, he directed it, I guess.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Sure, why
Who else
not?
did I have? Oh yeah, J.K. Simmons. It's like
I think
he's kind of graduated.
I think he's
All
graduated.
those farmers commercials, and he's just
yeah,
gonna
but
keep on.
granted, other than that, like he was like, you be J.K. Simmons. Who? It's like J. Jonah Jameson. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we had room for one
Whiplash.
like A-lister insurance commercial guy, and Mayhem didn't make the cut.
Also, the Allstate guy just didn't quite make.
Yeah,
the cut
yeah,
either.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He
Dennis
did-
Haysbert.
Dennis
Yeah.
Haysbert.
Dennis Haysbert didn't quite make it. The Mayhem from the Allstate ads didn't make it. But J.K. Simmons,
He made it.
Yes.
he's big time now.
Yeah, and Progressive is just like, we're gonna stick out Flo for 40 more years.
Now,
We'll be good to go.
now where does Keith David stand on that? Is he still that guy status?
He's in
or-
better state. He's in a better place than David Keith
Like,
is. David Keith is going to be that guy forever. But Keith David,
like
that's
solid.
different.
if
Solid.
voiceover, he's probably above. Like,
Yeah, he's one of the top 10
Yeah.
legends.
I
in
mean,
voiceover.
he's amazing.
What else do we got?
I can barely picture David Keith's face on a good day. though.
like when a brain is.
I
at
think I
full
saw
power.
him on that list too.
All I know is like, oh, he's not black. Oh no, I forgot what he looked like.
Yeah, that'll be Keith David.
Yeah.
All right, this one comes from Paprika's Manny Manfredonia. He says, "Will John Wick 3 be the best movie of 2019?"
Ooh.
no.
Now, to
No.
give you
It'll be the Isle of Dogs of 2019 because
First
there's
of
going to be
all-
a lot of dogs in that movie.
fucking love Isle of
Now-
Dogs.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
I'll say
It's in the
this.
top 10 for me for last year.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I think just from looking at the trailer alone and the previous two John Wick movies, it will be solid.
Yeah.
It will probably be the most complete trilogy that I've seen, like, as far as hitting it. Not necessarily hitting it out of the park, but solid. Just
For me, yeah, that was even my next question. If John Wick 3 is that shit, does it qualify for best action franchise ever? Because they'll be damn near 3 for 3.
definitely modern.
Some people
I
say
think,
2 is
all right. So I don't know.
I like
don't know.
2.
No, I think 1 and 2 they're both perfect.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah.
find fault with either one of them. It's gonna have to give the initial 3 Bourne movies a real run because I think
Right.
that is
Yeah.
3,
that's
Born 3 for me kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
See, I like, especially after watching the original John Wick. Of course, I liked all the action and everything, and I loved all the world building they did in there with the Continental and all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was
Such a
what they
rich
would do for
world.
sequels. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't even make it about John Wick. Just make it about the Continental is the intersection of every single character, and you see all these characters in the movie. And you're like, I want to see a movie about that person and that person and that person, and they all intersect in the same place.
You could almost do an anthology just on the Continental, like different stories from the
most
Continental.
Netflix was
Most
supposed to do that. And that didn't happen, and then we just got shitty Hotel Artemis instead.
Right. Yep.
Have you seen The Wicks, Leslie?
Yes.
Are you down with the Wickness?
Come on, Leslie. Come on, get down with the Wickness.
I was not completely sober when I watched either of them, so my memory is not that great.
All right, sounds great. Sounds
Yep.
great.
It's about a guy who loves dogs.
Is that a guy who loves it? It's a
I
heartwarming tale
know
of Theon
the
Greyjoy
premise.
getting chased
Oh, God.
by Neo.
So good.
So good. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to John Wick 3. I do believe it could go down. Like, for the longest, I thought Mission Impossible was going to be it. But 2 is just so terrible it takes it out of the running for best action franchise.
And I love John Woo.
It does.
I love John Woo, but
Yeah, like,
fuck,
what was
that's
that
a
all
bad movie.
about? Yeah,
But,
it's terrible.
What else would you
Dude, great
put in
Scott.
those categories? In that category,
I
then?
think Bourne, John Wick, and then everything else has just got some stinkers.
Like, I don't think it's
if you have
fair.
25 Bonds, at
Like
least
it's
12
it's really
suck.
hard
Yeah.
to look at the Bond franchise as a whole franchise. It's like you have to break it up by actor.
Yeah.
You put
Oh,
Craig's
yeah.
Bond in there. You
Craig-
still got like 2 for 4.
I think it's a 50-50 shot with Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie that comes out this year is going to be, is he over or under 50%?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, this is
It's
it.
going to
It's the deal
be
breaker.
60 or 40.
I really felt like they could have ended it with Skyfall. They could have done. Like,
Yeah, but then you get Christoph Waltz as Ernst Wolfeld, which just makes so much sense on
And
paper.
the great thing about Skyfall is that it ended at the place you wanted this franchise to get back to, which is
very
like
beginning.
we've got M, we've got all the standards that are like are back in place, and it's like we feel like we're going to have this renaissance that's sort of like neoclassic.
Yeah,
And then
but we took 3 movies to get back to that. I wanted to see a movie with him actually being able to do that stuff.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and that was
And
the disappointment.
That was a disappointment.
That was it didn't. It started at the theme song and just stretched through the entire movie. It's like this is just.
I still,
theme song
yeah,
for
I
It was the Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith,
Oh yeah,
which is
Yeah,
in
that's not
which is
great.
the second worst Bond song ever, I would say.
What's the worst?
You Took Kill.
No,
man, this
whoa,
was the
yeah,
dopeness.
geez,
Was
get
that
the
direct?
hell out.
Get out.
Yes. Worst, I would say, is "Die Another Day" by Madonna. I think it's the.
I
I
can
just find that
I
bland.
can barely
It's
remember
terrible.
that one. Like,
Die another day.
It's awful. It's just terrible.
For me, I think it's that stupid Chris Cornell. You know my name.
Oh, really? That's your worst?
yeah. I was like,
Oh no, that one's
it's
that's pretty
not
high
great.
on my list, honestly. Yeah, that one's pretty up there. I think Another Way to Die was pretty disappointing.
Another way.
That was the Quantum of Solace song.
Oh yeah, because there's just no way to put the phrase "quantum of solace" into a song.
I would have loved to have seen him try. Yeah, I
To
don't
get back
know.
to the original,
some
I can't think of any other great action franchises that. I don't think anything's gonna touch John Wick. If 3 is on point, I think it might take the mantle.
Like as far as modern action franchises, I mentioned this already, but The Raid is probably the only thing I can think of that's like, and it's not American, but like it's.
you consider 2 movies a franchise though.
I want to see a third.
We all want to see it.
I
would-
mean,
I
it's
would
not,
like to see a
not
third.
a franchise.
Ong Bak.
I just think Tony Jaa in
That
himself is his own
Yeah,
franchise.
I think Tony Jaa, didn't he just go off into the woods and vanish? Like nobody's seen him in 10
4
years, right?
dope ass years, and then just dipped out. He just
Yeah.
went with his elephant into the jungle. It was Give me back my elephant.
I got the impression watching Ong Bak that nobody knew they were making a movie, and he just ran into the like somebody set up a camera and then he just ran out and started kicking people. That's what Ong Bak was like.
I love to see the behind the scenes for that movie.
Yeah.
Special features.
It's like one of those YouTube videos where like the punk ass kid just goes into a Barnes and Noble and starts knocking over displays.
It's
like,
henchmen just come out of
Who's
nowhere.
this fucker? And it's just they made a movie out of that, and we're all like, well, it must be real. It's a movie, right? But everybody involved with the movie is like, that wasn't real. I was just walking to work in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm excited to see John Wick Chapter 3, but as far as he asked,
As far as the best movie, look, I
See,
just
in
put
a
down
year
a
with-
quick list of Endgame.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
in a year with Endgame, no,
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
sorry,
Mm.
Star Wars
Yeah.
Episode 9 is coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
So,
that's Star Wars.
There's a lot
is-
too many heavy hitters
yeah.
coming
Once
out.
upon a
to-
time in Hollywood. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Oh,
it's
man.
a Tarantino movie this
That's
year.
gonna
Get
be
outta
good.
here. The Joker movie, I think, might be. It's gonna be.
I am so not interested in that.
Dude, it's just so. What the fuck is
Wonder
this gonna
Woman.
be? That's
Yeah,
why I'm
it's
interested.
Wonder Woman
anything.
Now they put-
84. Wonder
yeah.
Woman 84.
Is Wonder Woman
Joaquin
84 still
Phoenix.
this year? I
Is
think
that
it's
did they
2020
push it
now.
back? They pushed.
I think it's 2020 now.
Is it? Did they push it back?
I think they
I
did.
think they did.
Because they took that. That's right. Because they may have taken that Guardian slot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
Joaquin Phoenix is a low key that guy for me. I don't avoid his films or anything, but I'm just kind of like, eh.
I wouldn't want to hang out with him in real life. I think
Oh
he's a
god, no,
weirdo.
he's an asshole.
Fucking
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, he's a damn good actor. Though.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
watch
he
him from a
is.
distance.
He
It's
is.
kind of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I like watching these people from a distance, but I
would not-
never want to be in
yeah,
the
I
same
don't
oh,
room.
God,
interact
no.
with them.
I
No.
couldn't
Horrible
handle
human
more
beings.
than like a season of that show.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I binged 4 seasons
Yes.
in like 2 days.
Yes.
It's great to watch.
Nah.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
to-
Seinfeld for a modern era.
Just
It
to
is.
see the evolution of Rickety Cricket. Oh my
Oh,
god!
man, yeah.
See, I messed around and watched. One of my first episodes was a later episode.
Yeah.
And then I see him in when I started binge watching that first season or so, I was like, that was him. It's like, what the hell happened?
They've ruined his life. Like that's,
I love that they pitched it to the network like we want to do Seinfeld on 11.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
were like,
that's
"I'm
essentially
sold."
what it-
That's exactly what it is. Okay, so speaking of movies coming out this year, we've now gotten a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
ooh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Which are you guys more excited for, Captain Marvel or Far From Home?
I gotta say, Far From Home.
Yeah.
Barely. It barely edges it out because I love. I'm excited about Captain Marvel, but Mysterio, man, like how long have I waited for
Just-
this?
Yeah, like you had to wait till the effects.
Jake
caught up to be able
Gyllenhaal,
to do it.
give it to me.
He's one of my
man.
top 3
Come
favorite
on.
actors, man.
Yeah.
I definitely have a theory about Far From Home.
What's your theory?
That all that stuff that you saw in the trailer that was going on with Mysterio, I guarantee that all that's fake.
Oh, you know it is.
Yes.
He's Mysterio. That's what he
Yeah.
does. He made all that shit happen.
Everybody seems like the going theory is he is trying to be a hero, but he's for lack of a word magicking up drama to come in and be the hero.
He's
It
kind
would
of
be
like
Spider-Man
he's
that
kind of like
outs him
Booster
on this
Gold a
shit.
little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
like
Yeah, kinda
like
Booster
Mystery Men, where it got to the point where Captain Amazing, like he was
Was
basically trying to manufacturing.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
manufacturing stuff to come in and be the hero. Spidey's gonna call him on his bullshit.
Yeah.
He's gonna go villain. Leslie, which are you more excited for, Captain Marvel or Spidey Far From Home?
Captain Marvel.
As am I. I'm more
Yeah.
excited
I do
for
want
Captain
to.
Marvel.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man, but I've seen so much Spider-Man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen
Although
Captain
we're
Marvel.
just now finally seeing Spider-Man done correctly. Though.
Agreed. This is the best version of Spider-Man that I have. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, yeah. But yeah, Captain Marvel. I'm really excited.
I
Pound
wanna
for pound, I think that is possibly my favorite costume in superhero comics.
It's
Captain
a pretty-
Marvel's
it's a
costume.
pretty solid
and they
design,
got it done.
too,
The
yeah.
color scheme is dope,
Yeah.
and they got it done right for this movie.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
I'm kind of and I'm curious to see how her story is going to tie into Endgame and all that stuff, because there's going to be something in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
bring it all together.
yeah. I'm wondering if her movie will directly relate to Endgame or if it's just the end credits trailer or the end credits.
I
teaser.
kind of hope it's just like
solo
the stinger at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
what I
let
was
her have her own,
assuming.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want. We've come this far. I want her to have her own movie that's just like Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like I don't need any other piece of the Marvel universe to accept and understand and appreciate Black Panther.
Right.
But I can appreciate it within this larger context, and I want Captain Marvel to be that way. I really,
Yes.
really do.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right then, excellent. So the Oscars came out, and as they do every single year, many people are salty and upset about the Oscar nominations, and I feed on this saltiness every single year. Is there anything that stood out for you guys that they got right, that they got wrong, anything that was snubbed, anything like that? Anything that was left off, or stuff that just made sense?
It felt like a very bland year to me.
It
like,
felt.
there's so little energy in this for me.
I
Yeah.
don't think. outside of a handful of like maybe a couple of movies, I don't think there were a lot of strong contenders this year.
Like,
That's what a lot of
I
people
liked-
are saying, man. A lot of people
I
saying.
really liked Green Book. I don't think it's Best Picture material. And so I see that, and I'm like, how good could any of these be?
I'm gonna say this is gonna sound controversial, but I love Black Panther. Like
Well,
that,
Hey,
that
but it's
movie,
not- I
it
don't
made
think
my
it's controversial at all, sir.
well, it made my top 5 MCU list.
I'm looking
Like,
at, but
it
I'm
bu-
looking at that Best Picture list, and I'm
and I was
like,
like,
Black Panther should legitimately, by any measure, have a real shot at winning, given
Oh.
this field.
I don't think it's the best picture.
I don't
contender,
think it
honestly.
is though. But
I don't
yeah,
think it's the best picture. Contender.
I would honestly be surprised if Spike. This isn't Spike Lee's year.
I will.
I would be genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Of the best picture nominees, 2 of them made my top 5 for the year: The Favorite and Black Klansman. I would be happy with either one of those. One, or if Spike gets Best Director, because this is his first year of being nominated.
This is gonna.
right?
They're gonna. It's his pity Oscar at this point. Like,
Yeah.
It's what Scorsese and Departed.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Until Alfonso Cuarón comes in there and snatches it from him.
Oh yeah,
For Roma.
Roma, son of a.
Those damn Mexican directors, man, between them, Guillermo
If he
del
goes-
Toro and Iñárritu, they've been snatching up best directors.
If he goes,
left
if he,
and right.
Everybody feels really guilty about this whole wall thing right now.
Donald Trump's like, can we
Gonna
just
get the
give best
sympathy.
director to an American one?
When he's black, I forget what I said.
if we see Alfonso Cuarón hop the stage and was like, Spike, it's like I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh. No, they'll get
that
up there and
Oscar.
be like, oh, Warren Beatty's going to be like, I'm sorry, I meant to say Bryan Singer.
God,
I don't think he got nominated.
no, not for best director.
You know what?
no.
Here's the thing. The funny thing is, like, I didn't even realize he directed
they
Bohemian
kept
Rhapsody
his name
until like this
far
fucking
away.
week.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, he did?
They were
Man.
really low key about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Doing? He's already got a new job, strangely enough.
He was
Already
like
got a new
he's
job.
on Shyamalan status now. Like, what was it? After Earth. When
Oh,
that
yeah, they
came
did-
out, they wouldn't even mention his name.
They covered
in
that up.
Yeah.
They got like an FBI team in there to cover that shit up.
I was listening.
Like, take his fingerprints.
I was
And that movie is not good either.
Yeah, I was listening to this podcast,
After
and
Birth.
guy was talking about he was doing a panel, I think at San Diego Comic-Con about After Earth, and the producers or whoever literally told him, do not mention Shyamalan at all. in
That's,
this.
yeah.
So,
And, well, don't worry. The movie killed itself anyway. so.
Yes, that I went to the theater to see that, and I felt bad after watching that. I was just like, and then like when the end credits rolled, like directed by M. Night Shyamalan, I was like, oh, okay, that's
what it
why.
was.
Aw.
I got Shyamalan.
When the breath, like, I saw a trailer for Devil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in there, and the whole theater kind of falls to a hush because this looks kind of cool and stuff. And then
And
it's
then
all of a
directed
sudden
by
it's
M.
like
Night Shyamalan.
from the director of Signs, and we're like,
Oh.
the whole theater, like the air sucked out of the room, and then there was just like 5 people, including myself, that were like, oh, and everybody busted out laughing, and it didn't subside for the rest of the trailer. I'm like, it's
Did
time. to-
anybody see Devil?
I saw it.
Is it any good?
It's all right.
It's probably one of his better movies.
Yeah, yeah. It's, yeah.
All right.
It's not Lady in the Water.
Look, I own that movie. That's right. I said it.
I
Leslie-
have never seen that movie. Thank you.
We'll make sure I rectify that immediately.
If you ever wanted to see Ron Howard's daughter prune in a pool,
Yeah,
There you go.
That'll do it.
Lady in the
Shit,
Water.
do it.
Wasn't she was in
She's
the
also
Village
in
too?
The
Right?
Village. Yeah, he did 2
Yeah.
movies with her.
They
back to
played
back.
that at the.
I'd like you better if you were soaking wet. Here's a pool.
Yeah, they played that in the room I was in when I was doing jury duty, and I was ready to confess right there.
I did it.
I did it.
Get me the hell out of here.
I can't take it anymore.
Leslie, how many of the Best Picture winners have you seen? If I had to take a guess, I'm gonna say 1. Your nominees are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
One. I had fully intended to see Black Klansman, A Star Is Born, Vice, and Green Book, and never got around to it.
I had to leave halfway through A Star Is Born because it was the 4th movie that day I'd seen in theaters.
Oh, jeez.
And my head was banging and my stomach was like feed me, Seymour, feed me. And it would get to the point where it was like distracting me from the movie. So I was like, I will slink away in the aisles in defeat and go get me some Popeye's chicken.
Yeah. I did not see a whole lot of the films that are nominated for anything this year.
I saw a lot of movies.
Okay, I'm checking out a bunch on Monday actually.
I saw a lot of movies this year, but it's. I just realized, like, after hearing that list, I've literally only seen Black Panther and Black Klansman.
Like, how many were you interested in? That's the question.
I was
It's like,
interested in.
it's like,
I mean, The Favorite was my number 2 movie of the year.
Yeah.
The Favorite.
I don't even know what that's about.
I did want to see Bohemian Rhapsody just to see, just to see what all the hype was about.
Yeah.
see my boy Bryan Singer's up to.
Good old X-Men.
I still gotta watch Vice. Might watch Vice on Monday, and I might finally go sit down and watch Green Book. Green Book. I'm just so I'll see it if I
It's
see it.
yeah.
What
It's one of those
happened with
movies.
that? Because I know we were going to see it. Did I get sick?
What Vice?
No, Green Book.
I mean, I've never really planned on watching it.
I thought we had. Okay.
You just grew apathetic.
I just don't.
Maybe no.
Now, has Mahershala Ali graduated from that guy status now?
Oh,
Yes.
most definitely.
Yes.
I mean, the dude's won an Oscar. For
I
that
think
before he got
Mahershala
here.
And
Ali-
is nominated again. Yeah.
Mahershala Ali has spent about a year and a half in that guy status.
Yeah. Catapulted
But he
up.
was that guy in 50 different things that 1 year, and then all of a sudden it was like,
Well,
it's Mahersh.
No,
Yeah.
I finally.
It's
he's been
Mahersh.
doing
He's
stuff
Cottonmouth.
since the 4400s.
Yeah,
was when
4400s.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
seeing him.
yeah.
Like he's
He
been
was
doing
that
Alright,
guy.
so
Still
he
had
was
his
a
back
while.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was in a part of an ensemble cast in that show too.
Yeah.
He-
Yeah.
Just
there
not
you
a,
go.
Not a
Not
P.T.
PTA.
Anderson. Had nothing to do with him, but
Yeah, I was
still.
like, what the hell is he
produced
doing
the
in the
movie.
Hunger Games? It's like he's in
Yeah.
that. I think he's that last one or whatever.
My
Yeah.
bestie mentioned, she was like, "Oh, this one actor, I don't remember his name,
Cottonmouth, it's
but he's in
Cottonmouth."
that." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's so swoon." And I was like, "Which guy is that?" Oh yeah,
He's always going to be Cottonmouth to me now.
Oh, he's always talking about it.
phenomenal as Cottonmouth.
Greatest role cut short in episode 7.
Oh
yeah.
my God! I was just
Okay.
like, what?
The hell show.
Speaking of great things cut short, let's talk about Glass. Have you seen Glass yet,
I
sir?
did not see Glass yet.
And the three of us have seen Glass.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Glass, sir?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fitting ending to the Israel
Yeah.
177 trilogy.
Yeah.
Of course, McAvoy killed it. Like, he is that was his role. He was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just being able to even see him go through all these different personalities and stuff, like boom, boom, boom. It's like, wow, that's acting. That's acting.
You don't get to play 12 characters in one movie very often. So it's,
you gotta kind of make do when you get it.
right.
What did you think about it? Oh,
I'm
you
sorry.
still-
I was like, Bruce Willis gave a damn again. It seemed like he was.
Yeah, he was a little bit more awake in this movie than he has been the last decade.
And I actually like Sam in there. Like he was.
Okay.
It was a good movie. I know there were some things that went in directions that people probably weren't expecting, but overall I enjoyed it.
All right. What about you, Leslie?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I am not that familiar with Unbreakable. I think I watched it while I was packing last year, so I do a lot of multitasking.
It's a lot of I watched
It's
it
like I've seen it,
drunk.
but I didn't see it.
I
but
watched it while I
When
was
was the last
packing.
time you fully committed to watching a movie?
I mean, we went to see Glass.
I assume you were like knitting in your seat while we were watching the movie the whole time.
I
You were shoving
multitask.
Reese's
I
Pieces
can't
down
help
your
it.
face.
She's on TurboTax the whole time. It's like,
Okay, I'm white, but I'm not that white. Come on.
How was
Wow,
Glass?
quicken.
Glass is okay, but I did get $2,000 back this year. So. Okay.
I just saved a load of money on my car insurance. Geico.
My point in saying that is that without getting into specifics or spoilers, I've read some critiques, and they're not things that bothered me because I'm not as familiar with Unbreakable as those other people were.
Okay.
So overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. I haven't spent a whole lot of time, thinking about it and dissecting it to see if it holds up. But like you said, James McAvoy, fucking amazing. Sam Jackson, his his facial acting, to again try to avoid all kinds of spoilers and whatnot, amazing. Yeah, a lot of fun.
To your point, it stops holding up after 2 seconds of scrutiny. When I walked out,
I haven't even given it that.
I walked out and I was like, "Yo, Glass is kind of dope." By the time I got home that night, I was like, "Man, hold on a second. This don't make sense. This don't make sense. This don't make sense." Buddy of mine, Nando, who does Nando V Movies, which is very popular on YouTube, has a podcast called Mostly Nitpicking, where him and my other buddy DJ, that's what they do. They nitpick movies, and they spent a healthy amount of time like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? This doesn't make sense. This contradicts this. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's on surface level, maybe about a B-, but when you really start, I've readjusted my evaluation from I think I gave it a
You gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm down to like a 1.5.
Oh, that's always
out of 5.
terrible.
Really?
Oh, wow. When you come out of the
Wow.
movie feeling like we're walking on air, and by the time you get home, you
Really?
hate it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah,
that's
'cause-
a bad experience.
Yeah, walking to the car, you were like, "Oh, people who don't like red herrings are not gonna like that." It was
Also, that's
good.
very true. People who don't like red herrings are not going to like this movie.
No.
But and also that red herring, I found out later on, comes from they had to change things in production. So
Oh.
they were originally supposed to do that red herring.
Gotcha.
But then- but
Yeah,
then
that
stuff
kind of
happened.
takes a little.
Yeah. Yeah, when I really sat down and thought about it, it was a little rough one, It's disappointing in the end. Disappointing. Do you plan on seeing Glass?
Oh, I do. I'm a big Unbreakable fan.
Yeah. Even
and
that.
I feel like I waited a long time for because I remember this movie got announced in like 2005 or something. It was like Mr. Glass is going to be the sequel to Unbreakable. I'm like, hell yeah, it's going to be the sequel. And then it's like I forgot about it, and it's like, oh, they finally did it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm very interested. It's just
I went back and rewatched Unbreakable in preparation for Glass, and even that I was like, oh, this doesn't hold
I
up.
bet it doesn't hold up very well because I think the last time I watched it was probably 2003 or so.
Yeah, it was
There are
about
some-
03 or 4 was the last time I watched
Yeah,
it.
there are some dry spells in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
this
it's
is why I was
wonky.
packing while I was watching it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah. There should be like subtitles for
attention
packing.
to realize that something wasn't quite right.
Like there should be a subtitle that pops up on the screen. Go pack now. And a little countdown clock in the corner. You can come back when something happens. He'll be lifting weights for the next 3 minutes. Just go.
Actually, that's my favorite scene.
It is good. I love
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah, a couple more minutes. Your boy Miyazaki and his son are working on 2 new Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
What is the best Miyazaki film?
okay, I'm going to. It's gonna be some. Well, actually, there's gonna be some
I'm
problems.
with you. I'm with you.
There's gonna be
I've
some
never
problems.
seen a single one.
I've never seen a single Miyazaki movie.
What?
Never
Yes.
seen one.
Guys, all right. Well, then I'll tell
Gaping
you.
blind spot.
Then I'm going to assign you all favorite Miyazaki movies.
Okay, I'm ready to write. So.
Daryl, your favorite movie is Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind.
Okay. Can I have Spirited Away? Maybe.
No, Spirited Away is my favorite Miyazaki movie.
Mononoke.
That one's
Jermon-
mine. I've actually
okay.
seen that one.
Jermon, I'm going to give you Castle of Cagliostro.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
all
the
right.
Loop on the Third feature film, which is not what you would expect from a Miyazaki movie, but it's wonderful. It's a great heist movie.
A heist movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Valley of the Wind.
There's Nausicaa is awesome. Nausicaa is arguably his best movie, I think.
right.
But for me, Spirited Away just it's like if you had a checkbox of everything I ever wanted to see, it's like it's all there except jetpacks. That's the only thing. Only thing Spirited Away doesn't have is Nazis and jetpacks.
You gotta get the Rocketeer.
You
for
like-
that.
I got a Rocketeer, maybe some Sky Captain in there. So
The world of a better movie somewhere.
yeah. So Spirited Away, I think, is awesome.
All right.
It's terrific. Princess Mononoke, so good though, and the screenplay for that, I think we were talking about it this week, was the American English version of it was written by Neil Gaiman.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that
Yes.
contributes because you're a big Gaiman fan.
I am.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Today I'm going to
contributes to
show
why
you how to
you love
kill a god. There's some Gaiman stuff in there.
Okay.
it's
Gamey
good.
sounding.
Yeah.
All right, then, dopeness. I guess we have assigned homework.
Yeah.
So
I literally
we'll
saw
be back
it-
with the next episode. We'll have our
Cagliostro is on
reviews.
Netflix right now.
Yeah,
think.
I was
Castle
at
Cagliostro
I was
is
at
on
Walmart
Netflix.
last week, and I literally saw a whole section of all that stuff.
Of Ghibli stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right then.
Yeah,
So-
it's hard to go wrong. I mean, even like Ponyo came out, and a lot of people were like, "Ah, come on." It's just a smaller scale movie. than what he normally. He's known for these grandiose things, even like Howl's Moving Castle. It's this huge movie, but like Ponyo is a very small story about a child living near the ocean. And so it seems like there's no stakes involved whatsoever. There's this weird fish girl in it, okay. But it's a delightful movie.
Wait,
like
about Bryce
Dallas
Dallas Howard again?
It's really good. No, it wasn't Bryce Dallas Howard. It was completing the Let's Get Bryce Dallas Howard All Wet trilogy.
Apparently, I have not been informed of this trilogy.
It's the Bryce Dallas Howard Moist trilogy.
Oh, jeez.
Again,
moist.
I
Pop
hate you
Records.
so much right
The
now.
woods are moist. She's in the pool. That's very moist.
We'll get you on Lady in the Water here at some
She's
point.
not in Lady in the Water. They
Didn't
tried to
Didn't
get
Didn't
her.
they get into the water in Jurassic World? Didn't she?
Yeah,
I'm
she's
sure
she's definitely in water.
That
at
was
one
her
point.
encore.
In-
I'll
in
come back for
heels.
one more
In
of the
heels.
moist trilogy.
She's more. It's less moist and it's more wet.
Yeah.
She's wet. She dries off. Case closed.
Repeat end credits. All right, one last thing. Punisher season 2 hit Netflix on Friday. Season 2 of Punisher. This is how I can gauge the interest. I heard it's not a great season from multiple people before it dropped. We put up the discussion thread on Paprika the Monday after, like we always do. Here at Friday, it has all of 28 comments. Ooh. That's it.
You know what's weird though is
Like
that
when Daredevil season 2, we're like, discussion is like, whap!
See,
evidently the viewing for Punisher season 2 is higher than a lot of the recent Marvel shows. Like it beat Daredevil season 3. It
Really?
beat Jessica Jones 2. It beat Luke Cage 2.
Oh, wow.
So people are watching it.
Yeah, well, I think there was more hype for it. I enjoy Jessica Jones. Her season 1 is my favorite.
If
out
I'm
of
going
all
to get a
the Marvel
Jessica Jones
shows.
tattoo, what is that
But
going to look like? I think that's
the
where it
second
begins and
one
ends.
is it's much more nebulous. It's not as great. So
Yeah.
I could
Yep.
I could definitely see people not being as hyped for the other shows. Punisher. Since Daredevil, Punisher is the one that has been lauded as like, oh my god, this is the perfect one. I never fucking finished the first season.
I just think there's a subset of the population who is always going to love the Punisher, no matter what form it takes. It's like the
gun-born
Ghost.
people.
It's the Ghost Rider fans and the Punisher fans. Those motherfuckers.
oh, don't forget the
The
Venom,
Venom fans are just as bad. It's like, you tell me something about this character. You can't, can you?
Nope.
He's got a flaming skull for a head. That's the extent of it. He looks good on a bumper sticker. Like, I just. Give me something.
Yeah.
Now I do love runs of the Punisher. I love runs of of Ghost
and
Rider,
it's
and
just-
yeah. So I mean,
I was gonna say
I'm a little more invested, but like even me, I'm like, there's always going to be people there that want to watch Punisher, no matter how bad or good it is.
just to interject, Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner. We're
Rider,
developing our
you know,
Ghost Runner story
there you
as
go.
soon
I
as
like
we
that.
get done recording.
Sorry.
Ghost Runner.
It's one of the. It's Friday. My brain is shot. But his run on Agents of Shield, I felt like they
that was
fleshed
good.
out the
But
character
the
fairly
thing they
well.
got right on Agents of Shield was that he was used as a supporting character.
Yes.
That is
Like
right.
True.
like
True.
it's like I think what's true of Ghost Rider is true of Punisher is true of Wolverine. None of those characters were designed to carry their own thing. I think they work best as supporting characters, and they leave you wanting something more. Like Wolverine at this point, Marvel has left everything out on the fucking table. You know, like I can't think of another Wolverine story I need or want to read at this point.
Yeah.
But like when I think back to like that Uncanny X-Men issue where he's in the Hellfire Club in the sewers and he has to work his way back up to fucking Harry Leland, who like threw him all the way down floor after floor after floor, and he's like, I'm just gonna cut through everybody. It was like this revelation.
Yeah.
And it was a double-edged sword because like we got that story and it's like it gave us everything we wanted out of Wolverine, but then they were just like, they want this, let's give them
Let's
more.
just do more
And
and
that's the
more
problem
and
with
more
all these
and more.
characters. So I think Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the perfect dosage of Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And Punisher on Daredevil season 2,
Perfect.
that was the perfect dosage
Yes.
of Punisher.
Yes.
But when you start to give them their own things, it's like, what do I do? What do I do with this guy for
Well,
13 episodes?
Not only that,
Or just
Punisher.
give me an 8-episode season. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
And make him not the main character. Make
Yeah.
it about other characters, and he's just this figure in
You
the
just keep
background.
fucking up people's plans.
Yeah.
See, and
Make the mob.
the thing with Punisher and Ghost Rider and some of these other characters, they have horrible rogues galleries.
That's another
Can you
thing.
even name more than a couple of Punisher villains?
Nah,
No.
I knew Jigsaw, and that was about it.
Yeah, the Russian, I guess, or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he doesn't have enough of a cast to really even support like a.
Yeah. Now that's the thing about Daredevil. Daredevil had Fisk,
Yeah.
and he had Bullseye, and,
Yeah.
and he had Elektra,
Elektra
and all that kind of good shit. He had a good supporting cast.
We didn't even get into Stilt Man. For God's sake. Untapped. The Matador? We never got the Matador.
So I think part of it might be because people already know it's going to be canceled.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that
People just
announcement
like,
like next week or something. Like,
Yeah, I
Same.
said 3 weeks is what I
Yeah.
said. Well,
Yeah.
within 3 weeks, I'll be interested to see how the response to Jessica Jones season 3 is,
Oh,
knowing that will be the last season that they do.
yeah.
I don't anticipate it being that high, especially since season two
Two was
was a
like,
slump.
Well, they're kind of in uncharted territory now because they pretty much blew all the source material in the first season.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, they really cruised
they've
through it.
made new Jessica Jones stories since then. I mean, Bendis came back for.
They've all been kind of
But
the
it's all
same.
been it's all
all been
revolved around
purple
Purple Man.
related.
Yeah.
They've all made it about Purple Man. I think Jessica Jones season 3 might benefit from all of this in that it might be the only show that effectively wraps up because they anticipate a finale.
Right.
It's true.
So we might
very
actually
true.
that might end up being the most complete series of any of these.
Well,
Sad.
I guess that's about it, man. That's about all I got. What you been nerding out on lately, Ryan?
Let's see, 2 things: Star Trek Discovery, which just came back last week.
Word.
I watched the first episode of that last night. Really enjoyed it.
Word,
Anson Mounts, Christopher Pike.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting.
That's what it's all about to me.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where's my red thing? I want my damn red thing." Loved it. And Weezer's new Teal album.
Yeah.
It's all covers,
All
but they're
covers,
like
that's what I heard.
it's the most solid collection of covers you could possibly want. So
From
it's-
Weezer.
So from Weezer, yeah. The novelty of it will wear out. I have no doubt of that. But for now, it's like this is fun.
I like it. Leslie, what are you nerding out on?
Still playing Skyrim, having some fun with that. I have been making my way through some books, challenged myself to 50 books this year, including audiobooks because I'm okay with multitasking like that. So I've been listening to The Name of the Wind, made my way through that, and currently on A Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss.
Good old Patty Roth.
Yeah.
Nice. Where's your mind? What you got going on?
Let's see. I've been about halfway through Punisher right now. Jump back into Destiny 2. 'Cause I love the. I guess since they did that Forsaken expansion, they have this new Gambit mode, which is like just awesome. It's like a kind of competitive co-op type thing. I've been on a Jamiroquai kick for some reason.
Oh, that's good. That's never bad.
Hey, man, got candy in your heels.
They
man.
had, I was like, they had a new album out. Like, it's like, cool.
All right, that's what's up. And that's going to do it for this month's episode of Choose Your Own Adventure. We will see you guys in a month. Until then, take it easy.